Hey everyone, I'm Ellen here at Etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the LubriMatic Ultimate Grease Gun. Now this is going to be a pretty heavy-duty, full-size grease gun for just about any kind of job that you're going to need it to work for. It has this very nice action for that lever component, so it's going to push out about an ounce of grease for every 12 strokes. So that's a pretty good amount of grease that's going to be pushing through there. And this is definitely going to be a grease gun for a lot of jobs. So if you get a tube of grease in there, it should last for a long time. You can use it around the house, for your RV, for your for just about any application that you might have. You might have noticed I was trying to put my little pipe there into the wrong spot, but it does go in the top. And then it has a pretty long pipe. This is going to be about, I think, about 10 inches. So it gives you a good amount of length to reach just about anywhere you need it to go. And then we have this kind of grippy material at the bottom to help keep your grip on there even if you happen to get a little grease on you. The lever has these little indentions, so your fingers will index pretty well on that and be able to get this filled up. As far as filling it full of grease, you've got three different ways that you can load this. You can either use a cartridge, so something that looks like this. You'll need a 14-ounce cartridge to do that. And basically you'll just remove the canister from the cap, thread it out there, pull the plunger at the back all the way out, and it should lock into place by that little tab. And then we can grab our canister, remove the cap, put that open end first into our tube, and then I'm not going to pull this tab since I don't want to actually fill this full of grease today, but you would pull that tab back and then thread it in place back into the cap. And there is a little metal lip on my canister, so it kind of makes getting that threaded back in a little tricky, but should thread on there all the way down. And then you would release the pressure on this little tab to let that plunger go back down, push it all the way in so that that rod is all the way inside the cylinder, give it a couple of pumps to make sure that the grease comes out of the end, and then you're good to go. Again, I'm not going to pump this full of grease today, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what that process looks like for the canister method. You can also fill this with a pump or by suction, so be a little bit different. There's a little filler knob here at the top if you're going to be using this with a pump, so you would attach it to there. Otherwise, you would pretty much do the same thing for the suction of pulling that rod out. And then you just put your spout or the pipe into your grease while you pull that rod to fill it full. So it has a nice airtight design. Whenever we release that little tab, it's going to bring our plunger back down, that rod back down. See, it pushes all the way in. You might have to help it along a little bit whenever there's actually grease in there. There's also a little button at the top, so if there is any air, you can release that out so you don't have any air pockets inside. But I think this is going to be a really great grease gun for heavy-duty applications. It's meant to take a beating and still keep on pumping. But if you only need a grease gun for maybe once a year or just occasionally, you might want to get one of the mini grease guns. We've got a couple different options here at Etrailer.com, but they're going to be less cumbersome and less of a beast of a grease gun. This is a pretty serious guy here, so it's definitely going to push out a lot of grease and will be great for shops, or if you are have a lot of different things that you need to keep greased up around the house, maybe on the farm, if you're doing a lot of towing out there on the road. Again, this does push about an ounce for every 12 strokes, and it can develop up to 10,000 psi, which would be pounds per square inch. So pretty heavy duty. The size overall from tip to tip is about 25.5 inches, so just over a foot with that pipe in place. If we go just from the handle to the end, it's about 15.25 inch long. Side to side, about 5 inches, maybe 5.25. And then the canister barrel here is about 2.5 inches in diameter. The canister by itself is about 10 inches long, and that handle is about 13 inches long. The grip on there, about 4.5 inches. And again, our attachment up at the top is about really 11 inches long. That's going to do it for our look at the LubriMatic Ultimate Grease Gun Lever Action with Cushion Grip.